because I think Arsenal are filtering things to the press. I think West Ham are. I think probably Declan Rice's camp are, and any others, really and truly. And that's nothing isolated to these clubs or the player. That's just the business, really. As I always say, what the papers are saying and what's actually happening in the footballing world are two different, very different things, man. 100% agree changing the whole midfield is a risk. I do think Arteta will surprise us and use Havertz as an 8. We'll see. Made second highest number of runs into the box. Personally, I really like Havertz. Nice to see that there's something there. Havertz's overall game will fit Arsenal, but he's weak and don't score. Get him to the gym. Do what needs to be done. Him, and as I just said, take Fabio Vieira with you, really, because again, I don't think you should always write off a player, but I think not everyone you persist with is going to bang. If Fabio Vieira, if Tomiyasu is not able to stay fit for another year, if Fabio Vieira in his own little way doesn't assert himself, then if we're still having the same conversations this time next year, I think we all understand where I'm going with it, in it, really and truly. So we're going to have to deal with that. But let's get into the paper talk and all of that sort of stuff, people. Keep your thoughts, etc. coming. Looks like our second signing might be Timber by the looks of it. Get him in. Fabio Vieira is a decent player, but you just need to assert yourself. Arsenal agreed deal in principle to sign Chelsea's Kai Havertz, says David Ornstein. Arsenal have agreed a deal in principle with Chelsea to sign forward Kai Havertz for a fee in the region of 65 million. The Athletic reported on Wednesday morning that the clubs were working to finalise the structure of the impending deal, including potential instalments and add-ons. Personal terms are in place and a medical for the attacker will follow in due course. Last week, it was reported Arsenal had made an opening proposal to recruit him. As you know, Chelsea need to trim their squad. He got 9 goals in 47 appearances across all competitions for Chelsea last season. Since joining Chelsea 3 years ago, people, in a deal which could have reached all the way up to 90 million. In 139 appearances for the club, he bagged 32 goals and got 15 assists. As well as trying to get Havertz to the carpet, Arsenal are working on a deal to sign Declan Rice. We all know we have to prepare a third bid. So we'll have to see exactly what's being done. Sammy Moltbell has said Kai Havertz will complete move to Arsenal. Guaranteed fee is 65 million. Add-ons take the total fee to 67.5, 70 million. Personal terms agreed, a minimum of 11 million a year. And going on with that, Arsenal are set to seal a 65 million move for Chelsea star Kai Havertz, with personal terms agreed on a 210k a week deal for the German forward, and a medical will happen in days. I think Chelsea are the real winners right now in this deal. If Havertz shows his quality, then it is what it is, really. But 65 million guaranteed, 60 to 65 million guaranteed on a player that weren't going to sign a new deal helps them with the rebuild. I don't think Chelsea are going to miss him unless he does a mad thing at Arsenal, really and truly. Arsenal are set to complete the sweep for Kai Havertz after agreeing a fee that will guarantee Chelsea a minimum of 65 million. As we know, people, we made a verbal offer to Chelsea on Tuesday worth up to 60 million. In the last 24 hours, this deal has accelerated, and a package for Havertz will see Chelsea recoup a guaranteed 65. So if they get 50 odd for Mount, 30, 40 odd for Kovacic, obviously the money that we're talking about for Havertz, bunch of their players are getting flogged off to Saudi Arabia. Chelsea's structure starts to look a bit better, and I'm sure Poch will love that, so they can start doing other things. And, my man Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi's days are probably numbered. Arteta, don't get any ideas about Hudson-Odoi, because that one, the Wolves will be out for me. The deal includes additional add-ons that will inflate the final fee to between 67.5 and 70 million. He's agreed a long-term contract, people. He'll earn a minimum of 210k per week. So our wage bill is starting to look a bit better. On paper, 2 players linked with moves away. Pepe needs to go. Partey could go. They're near the higher end of the spectrum. With that being said, you'd imagine the Sakas, the Martinellis, the Salibas are going to be pushed up there. Rice and Kai Havertz, if and when they sign, will probably be there as well. The players' reps have been in close contact with Arsenal's reps over the previous 48 hours, knowing that an agreement was close. Havertz will undergo a medical in the coming days before signing his contract. Nice to see, whether you like him or not, that we're trying to get couple signings them in early, really and truly. 60 million could have got you Maddison, but no, we buy the next Robin Van Persie. I'm not going to lie, I don't know who said Kai Havertz was the next Robin Van Persie. Keep your thoughts coming. It seems like the thoughts are very polarizing. DG, 50 million is not that much in today's market. Mudryk and Anthony cost more than 80. Enzo cost more than 100. That's true. I hope the Timber deal's done, really. But until you see these guys holding shirts saying I grew up watching Bergkamp and Thierry Henry and all of this jazz, it's worse. really and truly. You know, it just talking points for us on a fine day like this. Appreciative to all of you lot. Again, at this point, we'll be saying the same things, but for what it's worth, Chelsea were looking to extend this deal. So if Chelsea wanted to keep him, if Bayern Munich wanted him and Real Madrid wanted him, and for some reason them two European clubs walked away, that could be an alarm bell. But no matter what we think about Havertz, there's got to be something in the lad, didn't it, really and truly? Apparently, ESPN hinted that as well as operating as a number 10 or an 8 in Arteta's starting 11, ooh, that's interesting, in the starting 11, the club plans to use Havertz interchangeably in any of the three attacking positions at the top of a 4-3-3 system. And obviously, our players are not City's players, but Gundogan plays all over the place. Kevin's played all over the place. Foden's played all over the place. Bernardo Silva's played all over the place. As long as you can do it, innit, really? So let's see what's going on, man. I'm not really convinced in your abilities as a number 9, but Arteta, you're the guy, and you have my faith. You know, Havertz, boy, you look at the signings in recent years. I don't know why Petr Cech isn't here, but in 2019, we got David Luiz. 2020, we got Willian. 2023, we seem to be getting Jorginho and Kai Havertz. Will he be a double agent or will he do the business? Only time will tell. Arteta is convinced that Kai Havertz has huge potential and can develop at the top level in the Arsenal system. Havertz only wanted to join Arsenal. Was it so he could stay in London? Fabrizio Romano has said Havertz has been crucial in talks as he only wanted to join Arsenal. Well, on paper, for all the interest, Arsenal's the only offer. Real Madrid stepped away. Bayern didn't bid anything. Arsenal have bidded. So I don't know where we're at with that. He had no plans for what it's worth to go back to the Bundesliga. Maybe Arsenal's project was that enticing, or he's happy to stay in London. Gave the green light to Arsenal 10 days ago, right after the project was presented. Arteta is convinced that he has huge potential and again can perform to a top level in the Arsenal system. Once again, you know, just echoing the same thing. Kai Havertz is a hybrid player who could be sensational in the right system. Analysts here of what he will bring to Arsenal's attack and midfield, comparisons with Bergkamp. All right, listen, calm it down. Calm it down. Relax. You got a long way to go before. How dare you? Sam Dean, how dare you? That must be Bergkamp's son. That could never be Dennis. Let's calm it down. I hope that them comparisons could be true, but let's relax a bit and be respectful. Arsenal will pay Chelsea 50 million in 3 installments for Havertz, plus 15 million in add-ons, in a total package worth 65 million. Allegedly, people were closing in on the deal. Sources feel it will be done / sealed this week. Personal terms agreed. So if we've agreed a fee, if we've agreed personal terms and we've agreed a fee, it's just a case of doing a medical. Apparently, only Bamford performed worse on expected goals than Kai Havertz. To be fair, Havertz needs to improve his finishing, and Eddie Nketiah scored quite high at that. But Chelsea couldn't attack last season, so there's a bit of tax. There can't be, you know, as much as I may be convinced or not convinced on Kai Havertz, there's got to be a reason. Raheem Sterling, him, everybody at Chelsea struggled, really. As you can see, Havertz departs Chelsea with 19 league goals and 91 appearances. So if he's not going to play as a striker, then it can waffle less about assists and that, but it's not the best, in it. Last season for Chelsea, had the most shots on target, most chances created, most aerial duels won, most possession won in the final third, most final third passes, most duels won, most flick-ons, most lay-ons. A lot of that is irrelevant, and a lot of that could be screwed because he simply played the most games or whatever. But you could see in a couple of that as to why Mikel Arteta might be tempted. This could potentially be our front three. We need to wait until Kai Havertz is signed. We are hopeful for Declan Rice. And obviously, Martin Odegaard looks like he might be signing a new deal. Havertz will be Arsenal's first signing. Deal will be completed in the next few hours. 60 million guaranteed, says Romano. 5 million in add-ons. Long-term deal agreed. Hopefully a 4 to 5 year deal. Medical tests have been scheduled and he'll sign his contract this week. Documents are being prepared. When you look at his movement, he ranks second in the Premier League for runs, third for attacking runs challenging the back line. He does make a good run off the ball, really, and late runs and early runs into the box, but the finishing, I can see why Arteta would like the guy, but the finishing is what needs to improve. Runs challenging back line, fifth. Runs targeted by a pass, second. Total distance run. I'm not going to praise a professional footballer for running about, especially an attacking player, but read into that what you will. Arsenal 2 submit third Declan Rice transfer offer as West Ham await Manchester City decision. Arsenal are expected to return with an improved bid for Declan Rice after having a second offer worth 90 million. Smash the like button, people. Rejected by West Ham. The Gunners' latest offer for the Hammers captain is understood to have been an initial 75 million plus 15 million in add-ons. West Ham are holding out for at least 100 million. Arsenal are confident that Rice wants to join them, but West Ham are in no rush to sell the 22-year-old midfielder. Any 23 23, 24 now, as they wait to see if Man City firm up their interest. Rice is now on holiday after England duty, but Arsenal will continue talks with West Ham as they seek to agree a fee. Personal terms are not expected to be an issue. Arsenal have made Rice their top summer transfer target. We're also working on deals to sign Kai Havertz, as we've been rambling about, and Timber of Ajax. Arsenal will make further additions to their squad if there are outgoings. Partey could depart for the right price, but only if Arsenal can find a replacement. Lokonga needs to bust out, whether you're going to Burnley or back to Palace. Just cut, my guy. You're not the guy. Jorginho's rejected the chance, allegedly, to return to Serie A, people, and be reunited with Sarri, allegedly. Apparently, we're preparing a third improved offer for Declan Rice. As we know, Xhaka is probably waiting for the green light to go back to Germany and Leverkusen. We're also targeting Caicedo, even though equal reports say we've moved away, and we have been linked with Lavia in the last few days. Though any future moves depend on player sales. Arsenal are looking to offload Partey instead of Jorginho. Jorginho has a contract with Arsenal to the end of next season, and the club have an option of a further year. He has told friends he's comfortable in London and keen to make a success of his stay at Arsenal, having joined in January. So we'll have to see how that one develops. Once again, Havertz is set to undergo a medical, people. Chelsea had been reluctant to sell this summer, but the German international was unwilling to sign a new deal and had just 2 years left on his current contract. He now just needs to simply undergo a medical, people. So we'll have to see. Really, I wouldn't say his time at Chelsea was a failure, because from a selfish point, he won the Champions League, but he's hardly, I mean, he is a household name in football, but he's hardly done what many in world football, let alone Chelsea fans, thought. So let's hope his luck at Arsenal is a lot better. Monaco allegedly are interested in Thomas Partey, where I swear Monaco, you earn tax-free money. 1 minute it's moves to Italy, then Saudi Arabia, and now Monaco. For what it's worth, though, he's attracting interest from Monaco and a whole host of other clubs. His contract runs until 2025. There's interest from Saudi Arabia, Italy, and Monaco. Monaco are likely to be in the market for a midfielder. They did look at Sambi Lokonga. Nah, Lokonga's better than Partey, bro. Take him. Well, 20 million, take him. Partey's not good. I'm telling you, Lokonga's delicious, as is Tavares. Pepe's sick as well. You might as well just take him. This is said Man United could rival Arsenal for Declan Rice, and they're prepared to offer Harry Maguire or Scott McTominay, players that have been linked with West Ham already. We'll have to see what's being gone. Hopefully, Declan Rice stands firm on his willingness to join Arsenal, and hopefully we get that move done, people. But reportedly, United are ready to rival Arsenal in their pursuit of him. So again, in the last couple of hours, City links have re-emerged. United have been re-emerged as Arsenal are preparing a third bid. I do believe all these three clubs are interested, but are things being leaked to the media? Is it to try and, create anxiety? I don't know, people, but it is what it is. West Ham have rejected 2 bids. Until the man signed for Arsenal, everything's up for debate, and I'm sure everyone would love to have Declan Rice, really. But yeah, Ten Hag's team has been linked with potential swap deals. Whether West Ham go for that, I don't know, people, but you'd have to read into that. And like my guy Different Knocker said, on this United stuff, who, just to consider this, who wants you to know this? Why would a club source leak this to the media? What benefit does it serve West Ham to have this information out there? And to be fair, David Sullivan is a chatty patty, in it. As soon as the big up West Ham on winning the Conference League, he was ready to chat off his mouth and say Declan's going. Apparently, Chris Wheatley and the boys at London World, have had something to say. They're saying Arsenal are on the verge of agreeing deals to sign Havertz from Chelsea in addition to Timber. We're waffling about Kai Havertz, so I'm going to skip past the Havertz stuff, people. Arsenal have also agreed on personal terms with the 22-year-old right back Timber. Sorry, this is putting me off, people. Who is set to make a £35 million move from the Dutch giants Ajax. Although the exact fee is still being negotiated, there's confidence a deal for the Holland international will be finalised in the coming days. In other news, West Ham have once again rejected a bid from Arsenal for such. Apparently, it's expected that Gundogan joins Barcelona, which, as I said personally, I think Caicedo goes Chelsea, Gundogan goes Barcelona. Not that I know anything, it's just... yeah. Apparently, Timber has indicated his desire to join Arsenal to the new Ajax manager, and the Ajax manager understands the enormous appeal. I would love... you never really find out the details. Now, I know these are summer deals, but I'd love to know when Arsenal first started talking to Havertz's camp, Rice's camp, Timber's camp, etc. Because I'm sure you all remember Timber was at the FA Cup final, a player that was linked with Man United last season. Apparently, Timber wants to join Arsenal. An agreement with Ajax is expected for 40 to 45 million euros, people. Apparently, Timber and his family and his agent all attended the FA Cup final between City and United in London early this month. It was there that talks with Arsenal were held in secret near Wembley Stadium. And it just shows you never know what's going on with all these clubs. He wants to join Arsenal as his move was prepared in detail in the last weeks. Ajax are in negotiations with Arsenal now, with the agreement expected to be between 40 to 45 million. It'd be nice to beat United to 1 because Alessandro Martinez would have been decent at our club. Timber once again has his sights on Arsenal, people. Timber allegedly is only concerned with a move to Arsenal at this moment, with Bayern yet to make an offer for him, and it's highly questionable whether he would join the German Giants anyway after watching former teammates Gravenberch and Mazzari struggle in Bayern. Doesn't mean you will, but something to consider, really. While I think Timber's you can't actually say Timber's going to start week in, week out from the jump because you've got Benjamin White and Saliba, but I want him to come with that mentality. I don't care what Benjamin White's on. I don't care what Saliba's on. We're a family-orientated club, but we're not here to make friends. I want to play football. I am trying to make sure I'm in the Dutch team going to the Euros, and the same goes for Saliba and Benjamin White. Obviously, it gives us more adaptability and more options because it's a long season. A week's a long time in football. So imagine 38 Premier League weeks and obviously the cups and the injuries and the loss of form and, the crazy games. The Man United's at home, the Aston Villa's away, the Bournemouth's at home. These things happen, innit? Apparently, we've already had a £35 million bid rejected and are yet to get close to Ajax's €60 million asking price. But it's believed, once again, the clubs will find an agreement. Personal terms with the player are allegedly already sorted, with Timber offered around 150k per week on a 5-year deal, which is good for him. So we'll have to see, man. And it seems like we're Declan Rice, we're Havertz, and we're Timber. We're the only clubs at this moment in time that have placed bids. A bit like for all the talk with Caicedo, it came out the other day. Chelsea a few weeks ago put an offer on the table for Caicedo. So what's being spoken about in the media and what is actually happening in the footballing world are two different things. As we've seen, allegedly the Timber thing's been weeks in the making, and I know every journalist has said he's on the shortlist now and everybody's known about it, but until 48 hours, 72 hours ago, no one was saying Timber to Arsenal. So what is being said in the footballing world and what is actually happening in the footballing world are two different things. 99% chance Gundogan is a new Barca player. Medical already done with a 2-year contract plus the option of another year. Except for a crazy twist, everything will be complete. Fair enough, really and truly. Apparently, Tim's big up my guy, Giles, man. Apparently, Timber's twin brother has actually sent him a picture walking through this. He's probably running Bants, but you've seen them in London. And yeah, he was spotted in London with the FA Cup. For the FA Cup final. We were linked with Gravenberch, probably more linked with Liverpool now. I expect to play more minutes than I did. I thought I would get more chances. It's just about wanting to play. That's the most important thing at my age. I hope it'll be at Bayern. Otherwise, we'll just have to look further. I mean, I hope he's dissing Bayern Munich in the WhatsApp to Timber. Timber, look what we're doing with this youngster thing. You want to arrive in England, man. Living in Munich, lovely city, but London, man. There's babes here for you, 150 grand a week. You know what you could do on a night out with that? Come to the Emirates, my guy. Apparently, PSG have a buyback clause for Xavi Simons of just €6 million. My word. And it can be activated in July from the first of the month to the end of the month. The final decision is only up to the player. He's waiting to hear from Paris Saint-Germain. Allegedly, Manchester United, Arsenal, Brighton, Tottenham Hotspur, Borussia Dortmund and Leipzig have asked to be kept informed, people. Once again, Gundogan is going to Barcelona. And we were linked with Chuck Wheezy, people. So I just clicked on this article. Apparently, he has a price tag at Villarreal for €40 million. So we'll have to see. Apparently, Milan are also looking at Reece Nelson, who's allegedly going to sign a new deal, and Watford's Ismail Assar. Let's see if there's any other names apart from Timber. Timber, Havertz, Lavia, and Declan Rice that we've actually been linked with, people. Well, there you saw Timothy Cassandre there. Did I actually refresh the page? I didn't even see. But yeah, we're to submit a third bid, better yet. We've been linked with Lavia, as you lot have seen before. Balogun don't want to leave on loan. We're looking at Lavia. I keep saying that. So it's more or less the same things. Timothy Cassandre with Timber, you could probably put that to bed unless Arteta wants to be greedy and have over cover. We've called our interest on Caicedo, which I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd actually really like Caicedo at the carpet, but it doesn't appear that that's going to be something Arsenal is going to do. You can't do them all, can you? So on that note, that seems to be the transfer segment, people, but I'm just trying to get through that. So let me see what you lot are saying. As usual, big up you lot, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube, people. It's always appreciated. And my Twitch gang, don't forget 4:30, we're playing Football Manager. Make sure you're following on Kick as well. 143 likes. Keep it going, folks. Timber is class. Creativity, he'll have more space at Arsenal as the other guys are dangerous. I can see him possibly gaining confidence and getting getting back to his best. One thing I would love from Havertz is he makes a lot of runs. You know, he makes that a bit like Smith Rowe. He makes that early run towards goal. That means the Odegaard and them guys there can kind of take advantage of that vacated space. Or, you know, Martinelli and Saka, who make lovely runs off the ball. Havertz, who's a bit